Welcome back. Before the break, Size 8 had recounted to us how she started her music career and her endorsements.
I had saved some money, and I had saved some money. I had not made so much money before the endorsements. So I had 200, I think, and 30K, and I wanted to do a good video. So I said, I'll pay my rent for 3 months. Nitanunua ndengu, nitanunua maragwe, nitaweka gas kwa gas cooker. Then I'll invest the rest on one product. So I invested all the other money. I paid my rent 3 months, nikabuy cereals, na mchele, na unga ugali, na mafuta ya karanga, yani ni gas iko. Tusukume mziki. So I invested all my capital now on this one song Vidonge. That was in April. And in July, I had like 4 or 5 endorsements. That was in April. In July, I had 4 or 5 endorsements. And baka wa leo siaminingi. Like I took all my money and said, you know what, I'm investing on this. Na naingia na faith. Kama mbaya after 3 months kama kitu itakuwa imehappen nitarudi home. Kwa madhe nimwambia I'm home. Nimejaribu, nimehustle. So in 3 months I got Safaricom, I was doing Citizen, Sakata, I was doing Mashtaka on Citizen. Safaricom gave me, I was pushing Safaricom Live, pushing their social media like Facebook and internet, getting people to do bundles. Then I was doing their Bonyeza, I was doing so. I was on TV so much. And then now is when I decided, you know what, I want now to take my career a notch higher. So I started investing on my performance, I used to watch Beyonce like.
I was going to say, your performance are usually killer performance. If you're not just a singer, you're not just a musician, you're a performer. And it's funny that you've mentioned Beyonce because I always feel like, yes, I call you our Kenyan sweetheart. Is that the same way Beyonce is America's sweetheart? You guys go and you kill the show completely, from the dancing moves to your vocals, 100%.
Wow, asante, because at that particular time, Beyonce was my idol.
Yeah, and I see how.
I used to watch her and Google and I used to work on my performance. Kabisa, work. Because I never wanted to go back to, I told you, where there's no food. I never wanted, where I don't have sanitary towels, because that was my life. Here you have to make sure you either put a blanket or you put tissue or whatever. I never wanted that to go back to that life. But I don't know how I fell into depression. What? With all that, I fell into depression. Yes, that's why I always tell everyone everywhere I go, money is not everything. Money and fame is not everything. The problem is I am not a superficial person. That's one thing I think my mom raised as well. I value relationships more than money. I value people more than money. My mother gave us core values. I don't know how to explain it. My mother taught us in a funny way, we were born in poverty and raised in poverty, but we are not superficial. So I started realizing that I have fake friends. People are around me because of what I have. People will treat me because of what I give. People will relate to me, they'll relate to size 8 but not Lynette. And then there was so much pressure to perform. There was so much pressure to perform, to be better than I was. And I was around many people but alone. I don't know how to explain it.
Because niko lakini siko.
Yes, that's why you find people like Whitney Houston who commit suicide. Artists who commit suicide, I don't blame them. Yes, because the thing is, other people look at you like an object to make money. So people don't care about your feelings, whether you're feeling bad or not, whether you're tired or not. People want you to go either to perform or whatever. Like you see, there's this particular artist who the manager used to give her drugs, energy boosting, na hajui. She became addicted to drugs, na hajui. She doesn't even know how she got addicted, and everyone was blasting out on social media. Yeah, and yet when she got hooked up to that drug, she didn't know. She was being given something, anapewa drink, iko na hiyo drug, because the person wants her to keep on performing, because anapata do according to percentage ile as she performs. So what am I saying? So the higher you go, even relationships, like people who date you, they don't date you for Lynette, they date you for Nisaize. And when I was in that world, I used to watch Tyra Banks, and there's a day she said that's also what she was facing, her problem, because people want the superstar model who wakes up, they think she wakes up looking like this. Mimi nimepakwa na makeup tawa hivi, si amkangi hivi. You know, I by the way my face sai kwanza ime break. I have a lot of manenos. So usinifanye nisikie vizuri na uongo. No. Ni makeup imeniweka. So I'm you know, I like being honest, eh? Like I didn't wake up like this, like I've been put foundation. So and people want that this, you know, this size 8 who's come up waking up like looking for foundation.
That size 8 ini job.
Ini nguo utatoa weke kando. So when I was that size 8 in the secular world, even relationships, people think you will wake up in the morning like this. Pengine ulichotwa. Alafu mtu anamekuchota anataka uamke tu hivyo yenye ulikuwa. Na uwezi ukua hivyo, you know. And that's why I fell into depression. And I remembered that girl in Status Girls who used to love God, who was so in love with God, and she was so happy and bubbly and loud and herself. And she didn't care critics and whatever. Because I noticed I was becoming an alcoholic, which is something I've never been. Yeah, I'm telling upbringing. Nimerizwa in a Christian home. I started drinking alcohol in 2012, beginning of 2012. Something I've never done. And I was not a social drinker. I used to go Sinatabu pale mbele. Unajua Sinatabu? Hey, nikwambia wewe ni babu. Sinatabu ni pale, you know, in a bar where people sit alone kwa counter. Peke yako. Ukiona mtu yote amekaa kwa counter peke yake na pombe, achana na yeye.
Especially day.
Yes, achana na ni during the day. Achana na yeye. Yes, that was me now. And you see, that's not social drinking. You know, there's a difference between social drinking and becoming an alcoholic. And then I used to have alcohol in the house. And me, I'm not a drinker. Mimi, I've never been, since I was born, I've never taken. Nilikuwa mtu wa kudunda, lakini nilikuwa na dunda na maji na Red Bull. Yes, but now I'm drinking alcohol and I'm taking alcohol in the house. Yes, and so that's when I decided that, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And at the peak of my career as a secular artist, I went back to God.
And what year was this?
2012.
That was fast.
2012 towards the end, but people didn't know.
But that was fast.
Because I started off in 2009. I started picking at 2010. By 2012, October, I think, I gave my life to God.
After being born again, Size 8 changed her brand by releasing her first single, Mateke, as a gospel artist. She has released others like Moto, Yuko na Wewe, Jemedari, and Afadhali Yesu.
The people who did not know me personally, you've gone back to your love. Because they knew me, Lynette anapenda God. People who know me, as in this girl loves God. And the time I was not in gospel was, I think, 3 or 4 years. And that's the time I had ran away from Christ. But all my life, high school, nilikuwa mtu wa gospel. So people who knew, I remember Refiga texted me, and Refiga was like, umerudi home. Are you serious? Refiga was like, you've gone home. I was like, nimerudi home. Akina Tamima. Tamima was my neighbor. Time zetu za kuhustle. And Tamima was like, finally.
Now, for the rest of us, standing from outside, because things were going very well for you, then all of a sudden, Ume decide,
I'm just one person. I don't know. God has given me this grace that I go with what I feel God is leading. I don't go with what is happening. Like, I feel this is what God is leading me, even if it's contrary to society. I do what I feel I'm being led by God. And for example, because we're in a business setup, sometimes you have that business gut in your heart. You invest in something people don't understand, and at that time they're like, what are you doing? But you feel you're being led to do this. And for example, for me, I go with what I feel God is leading me to do. And it might not make sense to anybody around me, but I know with time, like for example, it's been 7 years, I've been in salvation for 7 years, and I have never seen such favor and such growth in my brand like ever before. And when I came to this side, I was told I'm stupid. Actually, someone from business, a marketer of a station, I won't tell you which station, head marketer, called me and told me, how do you destroy a whole building that you have built, worth so much, to go start one that you don't know what will happen?
Unaanza from scratch, foundation.
Yeah,
like,
but
you knew what you were working with.
That I told him, what I'm doing is spiritually led, and you cannot understand it from a physical perspective, but I'm going with my gut feeling, my heart, and my peace of mind, and my joy is more important than a checkbook, and it's more important than an image. You understand? And I left. And up to today, people don't know me. People don't know me personally, but people who know me personally, they know I value non-material things more than material things.
What a good way to transition to the Boss Lady Quote of the Day. Boss Lady Quote of the Day. You will be defined not just by what you achieve, but by how you survive. This quote is by Sheryl Sandberg. Back to size 8. Now she's changed her brand into secular. How did she survive?
I was prepared. I knew I might not make it. So I had some money in the account. Of course, I had endorsements on the Doko account. So I was ready to start a business. And my mindset was like, check, I'm going back to be a normal person. It's well, it is well.
I'm going to lose all the...
Yeah, it is well, but I will have my peace of mind. Lynette will go back to who she was and all those things. So I released Mateke. In 2 weeks, it's a hit. Countrywide. And that's why I don't really listen to trolls, because I don't value image.
And then the most interesting part about Mateke, if you listen to the words, sababu ya Mateke,
mimi niko huru. And I don't and the reason why I go to so many people are like, says it you utroliwa sana na iko affectingi. Naambia it's because people don't know me personally. Like, I don't value image and what people say and what people don't say, because I've been in the limelight for 10 years. And if you really value what people will say, that means for 10 years singewahi kuwa Lynette angekuwa lost. Kabisa. And die not having lived me, ningekuwa ninaishi kama script. Ningekuwa niko kwa script.
Kila saa ingekuwa movie.
Yes. And singewahi kukuwa mimi, singewahi enjoy my moments, my low high moments. So, and that's thing what every woman, because women were very emotional. We talk so much with Faith. And I warn her because she's younger than me. I tell her, women are so emotional. Separate emotions and work.
That's very true.
Boyfriend akutext akwambie sijisikii na wewe, sasa huwezi kuja kunipaka makeup. You know, you shouldn't live like that. I'm not saying she's done that. I just warn her. We are so emotional. Okay, umeenda ukatrolio ukakwambua. Like someone the other day was telling me about my teeth. You know, I was like, sasa wewe unaniambia juu ya meno, and God has just delivered me from high blood pressure. To me, what is meno and high blood pressure, please? There are more important things than a perfect dental formula.
And you're clearly quite celeb.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll be trolled even because of your... You see, my nail is like chipped. Yeah, hii chip leo asubuhi, lakini sasa nisingeenda salon sahi. Nitashoot ama niende salon. Tutashoot tu. So you'll find a random person just talking about your nail. You know? So that's how I started putting core values. And for any woman to be successful, you have to have your core values.